When people don't understand what something is, they are always going to look at it. They're always going to maybe comment on it as well, or some people maybe even laugh at it. I realised in myself they're doing that because of the lack of awareness.
You danced, it was quite a short dance, but the verse was, I love my life, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am free. And you were free in that moment.
It's that freezing moment in time where you're not letting anything else distract you, so you're letting all your feelings and emotions escape.
Dylan, thanks very much and welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you for having me.
No, you're very welcome. We had a bit of hassle getting here, city centre traffic, so I'm glad we got here and we can get started because I've been looking forward to meeting you for a good while now. So I first heard of you actually when I made social media, my Instagram page, like just at the turn of this year, and I think because we're pretty local, yours must have came up. And I clicked on your page and I seen that you were for Govan Hill and stuff, and I seen your wee tagline, and all it said was, I may look different, but it's okay, with a smiley face. And I'm like, and that was me obsessed with your Instagram page. I just found it so inspiring. At that time I was new to social media, so I didn't really know what people posted or anything. It was just never my thing. And then I seen your page and I seen your kind of daily messages of positiveness or positivity, and kind of touching on some of the hassles and obstacles that you've had to overcome in your life as well. So honestly, I've actually wrote down, when I'm researching a guest, I always write down a few words, and I've wrote photographer, inspirational, businessman, social media influencer, and overall good guy. So that's my one-liner to describe you. So as far as your condition goes, Dylan, you've got a condition called MDP. So I'll let you explain it, but am I right in saying that you're only 1 in 15 people in the whole world that have this? So it's a 1 in 500 million chance.
Yes.
That is unique for sure. So what is it? What does it stand for? And if you could tell us a little bit more about the condition.
So MDP stands for mandibular dysplasia with deafness and prodroid features.
Okay.
And so the effects can include the loss of hearing, and it can also include the loss of fat on the cheeks, arms and legs.
Right, okay.
So because of the loss of fat, it can sometimes be difficult to walk for long periods of time. And also because of the loss of hearing, sometimes loud noises can really be harmful. But
Right, okay.
also sometimes I'll need someone to repeat something, because I might have misheard it or the sound is not upright.
Yeah. So is there any other negatives to your overall health? It's not like a life-reducing illness, is it? You can still live to a normal age with it?
So the condition isn't life-limiting. It's just a condition where you're diagnosed, but you have the condition for life.
Right, okay. And was this diagnosed at birth, or was it something that only became obvious as you developed, basically?
So people with MDP syndrome can be diagnosed at any age.
Right, okay.
For example, I was diagnosed when I was 10, so it took scientists 10 years for me to be diagnosed with the condition.
Just because it was so rare?
Yeah, because it's so rare and there's that lack of awareness, and I feel that there is, because there's so many different conditions, and MDP, I would say, is one of the rarest, and also because a lot of hospitals and doctors still don't really understand and the effects that the condition has.
Right, okay. So was your facial differences obvious like from birth, or was it only as you started to get a little bit older?
I think people started to see the changes, and people started to see that I did look a tiny bit different from other people.
Yeah. And
for example, a lot of my mum's friends started noticing changes as I was going older.
Right, okay. And then that's what highlighted it to then go and seek kind of medical advice?
Yeah, so then that's when my mum started getting more worried, and because it was her baby boy,
Yeah.
and she wanted to know what was wrong as well, and so she tried to get in touch with lots of doctors just to try and help the doctors to understand that there is something wrong.
Yeah.
And my mum wanted the doctors to try and help solve the problem. So the doctors did lots of tests and they did lots of x-rays.
Yeah.
But they didn't always find a solution, but sometimes they may suggested things like cancer or progeria.
Right.
But I do have like progeria features, like my facial structure is the same as progeria,
Is
but it's
that-
not the same condition.
Is Progeria the like accelerated aging? Is
Yeah,
that what
so
that is?
progeria is an aging condition that means you age really quickly, but it's also a life-limiting condition.
Right. Okay. So you don't have that. You're expected just to live a normal age, and you were diagnosed with autism as well as a child. Is that
Yeah,
the
so when I was diagnosed with MDP, a few years later, I then was diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
And I feel that, again, no one had the awareness or the lack of information about what autism was.
Yeah.
So my mum tried to get in touch with a few people who have autism, and she joined a few social groups to try and get some information about what autism was. So she talked to people, and it really helped her to understand what autism was.
Yeah.
And at first, when my mum told me that I had autism, I again didn't know what that was, and I thought that again this was just another condition that's gonna define me.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was a bad thing. I thought that it's gonna overtake me, or it's gonna be with me for my whole life.
And you've not let that happen.
Yeah,
Well, you've not let that happen at all. So what age were you when that autism diagnosis came? Can you remember?
The autism diagnosis when I was 12 years old, so a few years later after MDP, and I think that also played a part in, I think because when I was diagnosed with MDP, again, I didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
But with autism, it's different from MDP because autism isn't really a physical condition. It's something that's sometimes it's quite hard to see.
Yeah.
And I feel that sometimes it's hard for other people to understand that they're doing things differently, because people with autism see the world differently and they do things differently. So, for example, someone with autism likes things to be really neat and tidy, and also they don't like waiting for long periods of time, and also people with autism also find it hard through social conversations,
Yeah.
which I feel that I'm not really bad at that anymore.
No, that's maybe the one, like, well, one of many, I'm sure, autistic trait that you don't seem to have. Do you know, my dealings on people with autism is very limited, and it's something that I don't know much about. But I know from your social media and seeing you on TV and different other things, listening to you on other podcasts as well, like you've basically using your autism and your MDP as a chance to go out there and show the world who you are and what you're like. I want to touch on, we'll get to the school years and whatever else as well, but I want to touch on your positive messages, your daily positive messages. There's no point in me trying to recite what you say, do you know, because it's not going to sound the same coming from me. But your Instagram following's over 250,000 people. Fair enough, they might not all listen daily, but the vast majority of them will. When they wake up in the morning, they click on and they hear your positive message of the day. It does make a difference, because it makes a difference to me, and I'm saying that genuinely. What's your idea behind that? Why do you do it?
I feel I started doing it because I feel that everyone should have a message that they want to share to the world. And my I feel like I was inspired by just going out and taking photographs.
Yeah.
And I think when I go out to take photographs, I'm able to think that I've taken a really good photo today, but I'm also going to write something about that.
Right, okay.
And also, I feel that in my past, I've also had a lot of negative feelings and a lot of negative emotions. And I also try and find that writing my feelings and emotions down is a great way to help me think better, but also to think that if something negative is happening, I can always turn that into a positive.
Brilliant. Not a lot of people can do that. Do you know, if you could bottle that up and sell it, it could be worth a fortune. But that's what it is. It's just your way of kind of taking a step back, putting your kind of energy into making it into a positive situation through your photography and obviously your written word as well. Going back to your earlier days, like through school, was your facial difference, had that became obvious at the start of kind of primary school and stuff, or had it not yet developed to an extent?
So I would think that at the start, I think for everyone it's always going to be a challenge starting school. But I think for me, starting school was an even difficult challenge because you don't really know anyone when you start something new.
Yeah, of course.
And also when you've not got a diagnosis, so you yourself don't know what it is, but other people don't understand as well. And I think when people don't understand what something is, they are always going to look at it. They're always going to maybe comment on it as well, or some people maybe even laugh at it. And I think that because people do that, I realised in myself they're doing that because of the lack of awareness. They're doing that because they don't know what it's like having a condition, or they may not have experienced something like that before.
The maturity that you must have had to recognise that is genuinely unbelievable, Dylan, because so many people would use the negativity that you're faced with, and it would just fester on them, and there would be such their school years would be such a negative time in their life, to the point where they might never actually recover even into their adulthood. So at a young age, did you recognise that maybe people that were having a laugh or a bit of bullying and stuff as well, did you not see them as bad kids? You just seen them as unaware kids, basically?
I feel like because I then realised that when people were laughing, when people were saying things, is that I first thought that they're doing that because they don't understand. But it's like, it's not that I want for them to understand. I want people to accept that people are different. Yeah. And also I think that that's another thing I feel that in society there is the lack of acceptance, and again there is the lack of understanding. And I feel that when people were doing those type of things, I thought that, is there a way out of this? Is there a way that I can make this a positive? And I thought that, because I also used to wear a cap over my head, and it would cover half of my face.
Oh, really?
So the cap would stop people from seeing my face.
Oh, so that was a deliberate kind of disguise almost?
Yeah, so
to cover
it's kind of like I was trying to hide myself away from people.
Okay.
And I feel that that's something that I do regret doing, and I feel that I wish I hadn't done that. But I feel that I thought that I was going to do that because there was no other way to stop people from laughing or staring. But I felt that if I did that, I was going to feel quite isolated, quite lonely.
Yeah.
And again, having that diagnosis of autism as well is finding that hard in social conversations.
Yeah.
And I feel at that time at primary school, I did find it hard to talk to people. but also I found it hard to go up to someone just to have a simple conversation. And I feel that because of my facial difference, I felt that it was the same. People were afraid or scared to come up to me. And I felt that if one person came up to me just to talk to me, then other people will say, oh, look, he's going to talk to him. And then that person might not talk to them because they've talked to me.
All right, so you were trying to protect them people as well. So what was there a defining kind of moment or time that you ripped the mask off, basically ripped the disguise off, and you thought, you know what, world, this is me. You can love me or hate me, but I'm not going to hide anymore. Was there a time that happened, or did it just kind of gradually happen?
So eventually there was one day where I thought that I'm really sick and tired of hiding away, and I really thought that if I have something but I'm keeping it away, I'm not telling anyone about it, I'm just keeping it in, there's no point hiding away, and there's no point because, again, there won't be any awareness and understanding. So I thought that what better way to show people is that I was who I was meant to be, and I feel that I was given a condition, but it didn't make me weaker, it made me stronger as a person. So I feel that the condition, it did sometimes made me have difficult days, and days where I thought that, oh, I can't keep going because something's happened, people are laughing. But I thought that because I was given a condition, I was able to turn that into a positive story to tell to people.
I think that's such it's such a lesson that people can learn nowadays in the world of social media and photoshopping and filters, where everybody's trying to make themselves look a bit different, a bit better. People should take a leaf out of your book and just say, you know, this is who I am. Like, just everybody's different. Like you say, this is the way I look. Doesn't mean I'm a nice person, doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It's literally just skin deep. Honestly, that's so inspiring to think that you went from walking about with a disguise covering your face so that no one would interact or speak to you, to just one day thinking, do you know what, if I don't show the world myself, then I'm never going to help any other people. And that brings me on to you're an ambassador for the charity Changing Faces in the UK, which is a UK based charity for people that have kind of facial differences, whether that's through conditions like yourself, but it can be through like accidents like burn victims and stuff as well. So it's a charity that basically helps them and makes the public more awareness of their kind of struggles as well. How did that come about?
So I thought that, again, you were talking about the positive messages that I do, and I think because I've kept doing that, there was a charity, Changing Faces, that got in touch with me. And they were like, you're really good at raising awareness for your condition, but also trying to spread positivity within your community and the people around me. So they thought that I could do a little, be like an influencer, or do talks for them, talking about my condition, but also helping people who maybe find it difficult. Because I feel that everyone who maybe has a facial difference or looks a bit different, they sometimes struggle to talk about their experiences and talk about how they're feeling. Because I feel that some people are maybe still seeing their difference as a negative, something that maybe changed their life. But I feel that sometimes it takes a wee while to understand that you were given a condition, but that doesn't mean, again, you're not a bad person, or it doesn't make you less than anyone else. It just makes you unique, and it makes you stand out from everyone else.
I think on looking through sort of both your own posts and the charity's posts, it's quite obvious that, like, even given your age, I mean, you've just turned 20, is that right?
Yeah.
You're like a role model for the people from Changing Faces, and that it's not just people that are younger than you, and it's not even just, although that charity is UK based, there's people from all over the world that contact you and see you as a role model and a bit of inspiration for them, someone that they can look up to, who also suffer from a facial difference. But you are out there. We'll come on to what you're doing with your life, which is incredible for any 20-year-old, never mind someone that's got the autism and the MDP that you have. You've still to contend with that. But they see you as this like beacon of light for them. It's amazing. So we'll go by the school years. So primary school and high school pretty much just the same.
Yeah.
And then you found photography. Tell us about that, because what I don't want this podcast to be is you've not let autism or MDP define you, and I'm not going to let it define this podcast either. So obviously we need to paint a picture of what the condition that you have and some of the struggles that you've had to go through. But I want a good portion of the podcast to be about, actually, we've got a 20-year-old here that's got his own photography business. He's danced for children in need in front of millions of people on live television. Like, there's a lot more to you than just a condition. I think that's important, really important to get out. So photography, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, with your autism, the world is flying by a lot of the time, and you maybe didn't feel part of that world in an extent. Do you think that photography was like almost a chance for you to pause the world, like freeze the world, and then just concentrate on that one image, that one event, and then your thoughts and your energy can then go into that? Or am I totally wrong?
Yeah, so I feel that when I used to just go out and take photos, I felt that there is always that moment where I'm glued to something, and it's something that, like, and again, everything else evaporates. So it's that freezing moment in time where you're just glued to something and you want to take a photograph of it. But because you're glued to it, you're not letting anything else distract you. So you're letting all your feelings and emotions escape. And you're just in that moment. And I feel that when you're in that moment, you feel proud that you're in that moment, because you're capturing a moment in time, but you're also saying to yourself that I've captured a moment in time, but that moment won't happen again, because I feel once you've captured a moment, you've captured it, and you can't take that away and you can't repeat it. So being able to capture a moment in time makes yourself feel good, but also you feel good because, again, you have something that you can share with people within your community, but also you can share it around people, and you can also show people how beautiful the world really is. And I feel with photography you can really show people that the world is beautiful, but you're showing people how you're seeing the world through your own eyes.
That's amazing, and it's now just not a hobby. You're selling some of your work. You're getting commissions. You're selling prints of some of the photographs and stuff you've taken, and I've seen them. They are like so good. You're obviously really talented at it, and that's what you're doing at college just now. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm studying photography at college, and I feel that studying photography has helped me to make new connections, but it's also helped me to tell a story. And I felt that through telling a story with photography, because photography is a really big thing in the world, there's so many photographers out there, and there's always people who are showing people how they see the world. And I feel that being able to show people how you see the world is that you can show people what photographs you're taking, but also you can show how you're feeling in that moment. And I felt that a lot of my photographs only feature that one person in them.
Yeah.
And the reason that there's only that one person is because I'm trying to show how I'm feeling through the photography.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are featuring one person because a a lot of the time when I'm walking around, I do feel lonely and isolated because I'm on my own.
Yeah.
So I tried to show that in the photography, and I felt showing that in the photography, I'm showing people that I do have moments where I am feeling lonely, but I can turn that into a really positive photograph.
By creating a piece of art, basically. And you live in Shawlands, which, as we've discussed, it's like a wee mini city in itself. It's a really kind of multicultural place, quite highly populated. There's a lot going on there, and that's where you take yourself and your camera off to most days. And we were actually discussing there that you've got the confidence, and you've got the confidence to actually speak to the people, but you've also got the confidence in your own photography skills to just approach people in the park or in the street, people that you think are a bit unique looking or just they have something. And tell me again, because it was a great way just to how you break the ice, but tell me how you approach these people, because it's brilliant. I could never do it. I would you see that if you were to tell me go up to him and ask him if you could take a picture, I would have butterflies and nerves and shaking and everything.
Yeah, so I feel that the first time I really did that is I did feel shy, and I did feel, what if they say no, or but I really had the confidence because I'd been doing photography for a long period of time. And I think because I've gained confidence through sharing my photographs on social media and also selling prints, and I feel that I then got the confidence to go out to talk to people, because I do love meeting new people and I love making new connections, because I feel that with photography that has really helped boost my confidence. And I think going out and talking to people and just asking people, oh, you have a really nice jacket, or you have a nice hat, would it be okay if I take a photo of you? Some people then again do say no, but I feel that if someone does say no, you just have to move on and find someone else. But there will always be that opportunity where someone says yes, and you're like, yes, right, this person looks really nice, and I'm really glad that I got a photo of them. And also being able to then maybe give them a print of that photo, or being able to show the photo to them, and it really helps bring a smile to them.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's something that I'm really glad that I've been able to do with photography, is that I'm really happy that I'm doing photography and I have a passion for it. But being able to make other people happy within it also makes me happy, because I've made someone else smile.
I think it's the saying, it's nice to be nice, and it is a nice feeling when you know you've not necessarily made their day, but you've sent someone on their way with a smile on their face. And the people that you have approached, they might be having the worst day ever, do you know? And I guarantee a lot of the people that say no to you will actually want to have their photographs taken, but they're probably just too shy of the kind of the other people that might be round about in the vicinity watching and stuff. But it's a great way, and it's potential clients, it's potential customers as well, and I'm sure some of them have went on to buy your prints and things as well. Is that what you see as a kind of career for yourself? Definitely.
Yeah, so I feel that because I've been doing photography for a while and it's something that I've always had a passion for, I feel that continuing doing photography has really helped me thought to myself that I can do photography as a career, and it's something that I do want to continue doing, because I feel that, again, I'm making myself happy, and it's something that's helped me to keep going. And I feel without photography, I would find it difficult to have conversations with people and to socialise with people. But photography has really helped me to push out, to explore, to connect, and also to show people, again, how beautiful the world is, but also to show people all the memories that I created. Because photography can tell a story, but also it can really depict on something that you've been through or something, the challenges you've faced. And I feel photography helps me to push out from all the challenges that I've faced. And it's turned the challenges that I've gone through, that I can push through them and show people that sometimes it is difficult, but sometimes it takes a wee bit longer to push through that challenge.
Yeah,
but also believing that you can do it, and if you believe in yourself, then I believe someone else can do it.
It's a domino effect, isn't it? If you show the world that what you can do, then people then take inspiration from that, you know, and then it just keeps on going and going and going. When I picked you up today, I mean, it's a cold kind of getting to that late autumn, early winter kind of time, and you were standing there at the side of the road with the brightest, biggest yellow bomber jacket on, with the brightest red trousers, and I'm like, that's you. I mean, you're like, I'm just screaming positivity. Here I am, dressed in black, you know. But no, it's cracking to see. You're now moving on to portrait photography. You've kind of found a new, just something else to try, basically, and expand on. How are you finding that?
Yeah, so I think portrait photography was something that I really wanted to explore. And I feel because there's so many genres and there's so many different things that you can explore in photography. And I feel that portrait photography is something that I was glued to, because I feel that when you take a portrait of someone, you can really get a sense of someone's personality, how they dress. And I feel that I'm always looking for people who are really uplifting, people who are bright, colourful. And always, I really want to get to know other people's stories, because I believe that everyone does have a story to tell.
Definitely.
And I feel that everyone should be able to tell that story. And I know that some people do find it difficult to help get in touch with people to tell their story. But I want to help more people, and to help more people to become more positive within themselves. But also I feel that there is the lack of people that sometimes find it hard to love themselves.
Yeah.
And I feel that loving yourself can sometimes take a while. But I feel that once you love yourself, you're able to love other things as well. And I feel as well, if you don't love who you are, then how can you love someone else?
No, I totally agree with that, and it is so true. And a lot of people kind of bypass themselves. They don't work on themselves enough to actually figure out what truly makes them happy, and they'll go along with kind of social, the way society says you should live your life. And there's so many people out there that don't have a facial difference, that maybe have a lot of money or whatever on paper, or whatever they might post on Instagram or social media. They might have the best life in the world, but they're just living a big lie, you know. Whereas it's a lot more kind of real, that you're just doing your thing, wandering about Shawlands in rain, sun, whatever it may be, taking pictures, speaking to people. You've got you've been commissioned or asked to help in a fashion show, is that right? Which is amazing. So tell us about that.
So because I've been doing portrait photography for a little while, and I got in touch with some people who have been in fashion shoots and people who have done modelling before, and they said that they wanted some fashion shoots to be done. And I thought that this would be a great experience.
Yeah, definitely.
And also it would be a great chance, again, to meet new people, but also to show that I do still have that passion and that fire, that I do want to continue doing photography. But I feel that because portrait photography can sometimes be like you're always moving about and you're always trying different poses and you're always trying different things out. And I feel with photography you can really experiment and you can really change how the model poses, but also you're depicting on whether portrait photography can help inspire other people, because also you're taking a photo of that person. You don't know that person, but you get to know them.
Yeah.
But then when you share that photograph, other people can learn about them and get to know them as well.
I know. So the pictures tell a story, do you know, and we're all different, but like you say, we've all got a story to tell. So we shouldn't think that photography is your only talent, no, because you're a good dancer. You love a dance. So you've been gracing the streets of Glasgow and Govan Hill with contemporary dancing. Is that the right kind of genre? Tell us how that makes you feel. And I'm not a dancer. Do you know, I shit myself if somebody asks me to dance. I'll dance at a ceilidh because it's set steps. But see, at a party, if somebody says, "Do you want to dance?" I'm holding on to my seat like that because I have not got a clue what to do. So tell us about the dance.
So dancing has always been a passion like photography, but dancing came about even before photography.
Right, okay.
So dancing came up since I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, and it's also really helped me again to make connections with people, but also to show people and believe that anyone can dance. I believe that dancing is for everyone. So I believe that I'm always, because I do love listening to music as well, so I'm always listening to my favourite music.
Who's your favourite just now? Who's
so
hot
I
now?
really think that I do love a bit of rap music,
Right,
so
good.
I do love like all the DJs and
Bit of
so I
everything.
do love AJ Tracy, and I just love I love really upbeat music that's really going to get you up and
lift your mood.
like the energy and the positivity. And I feel because music's really powerful, I feel that music can help make connections with people, but also like dancing and photography, music brings people together. And I feel that that's what I always want to do, is bring people together. Because I believe when we bring people together, we can have those conversations, we can have those stories that we want to tell. But when we make those conversations, you can remember those conversations, you can create memories, and you can remember those moments. Because when you talk to someone that you don't know, you could end up maybe going back to talk to them again because you've learned something about them. You've learned maybe something they're passionate about. And I feel if you have something that you're passionate about, I really want people to share that passion, because then I'm able to share my passion. And you never know, we might have the same passion, or we might have the same energy that we want to try and achieve something. And I also believe that if you have something that you want to achieve, if you have a goal that you've set, is again, take those little steps and those little milestones. And I believe that if you just achieve a small milestone, you can do great things. And I believe that a small milestone is a great thing. Because when you achieve something, you've made yourself happy, but also you've made other people happy as well.
Definitely. And your dancing took you down to London a couple of years ago, is that right?
Yeah.
So tell us that you were featured on Children in Need, a live show where you danced to a Robbie Williams song. So tell us a bit about that, because that's amazing. I've seen that, and also the song, what it means to you and stuff as well, because you would have only been 18 at that time, is that right?
Yeah, so dancing has made me travel to places. Like you said, I went down to London to do a dance performance live on TV, and that was the first time that I'd ever done a dance performance live. But I felt that I wasn't scared and I wasn't shy because it was on TV, and I wanted to show people that I love dancing.
This was your chance. This was all you ever wanted. This was basically your chance to be up there on stage in front of literally millions of people. And I can't remember who the presenter was, but I remember she said words to the effect as, "Now, Dylan, are you ready to dance live in front of all these millions of people?" And you're like, yeah, quite happy about it. Most people would have been so nervous, but you were just really up for it. You were good to go. And do you think that's what it was? Because your whole thing is to provide inspiration and positivity to people, and you were over the moon that you've been given this chance, not to just inspire a couple of tens or hundreds or thousands of people. It was literally going over live to the full of the UK.
Yeah, so I feel that when I was dancing, I had that burst of energy and that feeling that I wanted to shine. And I feel that once I'd done the performance, I really felt proud of myself that I'd done it, but also because my mum was backstage. So she really was proud as well. And also I think because I danced to a really powerful song, and a song that Robbie Williams sang, and because I danced to his song, funnily enough, that he then after the dance came and sent me a voice message.
No way.
So he sent me a voice message.
Well, it was on a video, wasn't it? It was
a video, and they showed me the video, and I was just amazed because I danced to his song, and then afterwards he said something about the way that I danced on the video, and he was really thankful that I picked his song to dance to. But also, it wasn't just him. They had a few Strictly judges, and one of the judges, I forgot what his name was.
Anton de Beek.
Yeah, and he just held up the number and said 10. So it was really good to just get that positivity and that feedback from the dance. But also I felt that it was a moment to remember, because it's something that I really loved doing. And again, I thought because there was millions watching, I knew that I had made a difference, and I had made a difference to lots of people.
And tell me, you need to tell us a song.
So the song was Love My Life by Robbie Williams.
Why that song?
I felt that song because I felt that at that time I did feel that I did love my life, and I felt that I did love who I was, and also because I was given this life. Just because I was given this life, because I felt that it was a life that sometimes I may find those challenges and those obstacles, but I found moments where I can shine, and those moments where I can turn a negative into a positive. But that song really helped change how I feel about myself, but also again to show that kindness towards people, because I felt that song was so powerful. And it was a song that has always stuck with me, and I still listen to it today.
Yeah, it's an amazing song, and I'm not Robbie Williams' biggest fan, I must say, but I like that song, and the words, I've wrote them down because when I watched your clip, watched it a couple of times, it was you danced, it was quite a short dance, but the verse was, I love my life, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am free. And you were free in that moment. You're free in all moments, I'm sure, but you were dancing on that stage. It looked like you could have been dancing in your room, in your bedroom, to be honest. You were just totally in the zone. There was no one there that was going to put you off. It was like a totally incredible moment. And he obviously caught wind of it and sent you a video message. Were you quite emotional then?
Yeah, I feel because he sent that message, I did get quite emotional because, again, I'm such a big fan of Robbie Williams as well, and he has really helped me sometimes to push through the struggles, because again music is really powerful. And I think sometimes if I am feeling down or I'm having a bad day, I will just listen to that song and those words, I am powerful, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am free. Because again, like when I dance, I believe that I am free. I believe that I can forget about anything else. I can let all the negative thoughts and feelings wash away, and I can just move how I want to move. And just also, it's kind of like I've got the music in my head and I'm using the beats to move around, but also I'm showing people that I love dancing, but I believe that you can dance as well.
Yeah. You'll need to teach me. You'll have your work cut out. So were they moves all your own? You just make that?
So I feel that because I've been doing dancing again for a long time, I've been able to learn new moves, but also teach new moves to other people. And I feel that because dancing is so powerful and there's so many moves that you can do, is that I'm always eager to learn new dance moves. And also, I feel that because music is powerful, there's always fast or slow music. And I feel people say that slow music is really sad and really calm and peaceful, whereas fast music is really upbeat and you're really trying to get your energy out there. And I feel sometimes I really like those songs where you're starting off really slowly and you're going, it's kind of like you're doing slow motion.
You're going to start dancing now.
But then also it picks up and the music gets faster. And that's when you can pick up and get faster and faster.
It's a good way to express yourself, isn't it? You could tell you were just totally lost in the moment then. So do you think you'll still continue to pursue that avenue with dance, maybe more as a hobby alongside your photography, or do you see just the two going hand in hand to an extent?
I think because dancing and photography are two of my biggest passions, and they're two things that I do want to keep doing. And I feel through dance is something that lots of people said that you can maybe become a dance teacher and teach other people how to dance.
Yep.
And I think through photography, again, it's just showing people how I see the world, but also showing how beautiful the world really is. But I think dancing and photography sometimes have the same connections, because through dancing and photography, I've met new people. Through dancing and photography, I've been able to show people that if you have that passion or that belief, then go for it. If you have something that makes you happy, go for it. But also, doing dancing and photography has made other people happy, and it's inspired other people to maybe think, well, maybe I should do dancing because I've seen that person dance before, and it's really helped me to be inspired by that person.
Definitely. It's amazing. What I wanted to talk about is going back to how the world sees you and how you see the world. Dylan, you put a post on today. We're obviously only a week away from Halloween, and you held up a card, a sheet A4 paper, and it said, "I am not your villain." Tell us about that, because it was powerful, and it made me, at first, to be honest, it made me think, what does it mean? And then obviously I clicked, and then I read your comments as well, which it was your comment. It was quite a definitive comment explaining that actually, like, is it fair to portray people with facial differences who maybe look a bit different as scary or horrible or something out of a movie or like actual bad people? Tell us your thoughts behind that.
Yeah, so I feel that because I feel that it's the way society works, and I feel that it's the way that how society sees people, and I think because I know that the world's always changing, but I feel that society has stayed the same for a long period of time. And I feel that lots of people, I feel, still today, is that they can be too judgmental.
Yeah.
And I feel that when you see someone, some people will judge them straight away rather than getting to know that person first. Because I believe if you get to know that person first, then you're getting to know them that they're actually a nice person, and they're actually someone who's not scary, they might not be good looking, but they might have something that you can learn about their personality.
Yeah,
and I feel because so many people are too judgmental, they're actually missing out. Like, that person could be amazing, they could have a great personality, but I feel as well, if you see something that you're unsure what it is, or you judge it straight away, is sometimes if you look closer. So for example, if you pick up an object or something that you think, well, this doesn't look very nice, but if you look closer within or around that object, you will find something that is beautiful, and you will find something that's unique. Yeah. And I feel that when you do that, you're turning that negativity into that positivity about that person. And I feel I put that post up because I felt that there is change that needs to be done, but I felt that giving that message to people and telling that message is really helps people to understand that there are people out there who are still judgmental, but it's the message that I want to give, and it's also something that I feel passionate about, because I feel that talking about facial differences and these different conditions is really something that I always love to do. But I feel that, again, the campaign Changing Faces, again, has really helped me to get my message out there. But also it's helped me to show people, if you have a message, then why not share it with people? And I think because there is that lack of understanding again, and that lack of awareness, Changing Faces is a charity that helps people to promote their message, but also to say that if you do look a bit different, it's okay. Because you do have a condition, or if you do have a facial difference, it's something that you can give that story or that message, but turn it into a positive.
That's brilliant. I think you touched on like Netflix and all that, but the TV shows and stuff, they kind of have a part to play as well. But have you ever seen the movie Wonder, I think it's called,
yeah.
which is about the wee boy that's got the facial difference, and that's an amazing film. I watched it as a family maybe about a year ago. Do you think that gives out a good message? There needs to be more kind of movies like that just to highlight the obstacles and the hard times that people with these conditions and differences have, and make it more kind of acceptable and out there that this is what people are faced with, instead of portraying people that have physical differences as being some sort of monster or scary.
Yeah, so I feel the movie Wonder creates a really positive way to show to people that facial differences isn't always a negativity, that it's not negative. And I feel that the movie Wonder really shows people that there is people that will stay because, again, the lack of understanding. But the movie Wonder showed people is those moments of kindness. Because if you're kind to someone, they'll be kind back. And I feel that you can always, if you're kind, that message is like a cycle again. So you're able to spread that message of kindness to people. But I think what the movie Wonder does is that they're showing someone who's different, but they're showing that he has overcome these challenges, but he's turned those challenges into positives. And I feel that quote from Wonder, why blend in when you're born to stand out?
Nice. I never picked that up. That's a great quote. So that's one that you've pulled, and you really it hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? There should be more films like that. Maybe you can produce one. Maybe that can be your next thing. So what's in store for you? What's your future? How do you see it? Because it's full of positives. It definitely is full of positives. You've just turned 20. You've got your own wee business. You're in the last year or two of college. You've got 250,000 people that follow your story, and that most people out there, I think it's fair to say, that have that social media following, they either do it through taking their clothes off, they either do it through portraying a life that they actually don't have but they want the world to believe they have. They buy their followers, or there's some gym guy that's out his head in steroids. Do you know, that's kind of the four categories about how you get such a following. Whereas these people follow you for one reason, and that's your positivity. Will you continue in trying to inspire and influence people whilst still working on your own business aspirations? Yeah,
so I feel that as I go further into the future, again, I just want to continue giving those positive messages and giving that kindness back to people, because I believe that when you're being kind to someone and you're sharing your positivity, you're having an impact on the world and you're making the world a better place. Because again, I think that the world lacks the positivity, and I feel that the world does need more positivity and kindness.
I think the world needs more people like you, Dylan, to be honest. Dylan, thanks very much. Honestly, you're a true inspiration, and I mean that totally genuinely. When I first started following you, it was long before I had an idea of coming on a podcast. It was literally one of the first people that I clicked the follow button on, and you have made a difference to my life. And I show my kids your posts and that as well, and I know they're 9 and 14, and both of them are like, "What's Dylan saying today?" sort of thing. So honestly, you're doing so much good for so many people out there. So thanks very much for taking the time to come on and tell your story.